Welcome back to another episode of SandersAquatics. Today's kind of a cool day. Got an opportunity that doesn't come along very often. My wife found a gentleman on Marketplace that is giving away 3 fish tanks, a 75, a 55, and a 20. I'm going to go pick them up. I'm going to go get all these guys, and I'm going to walk you guys through how to reseal fish tanks. Anytime you buy a used fish tank, it needs to be resealed. I just don't trust them. They're not going to go in my house. And anytime I ever get a used tank, it's going to be resealed. I've done dozens of them, gotten pretty good at it. So I'm going to walk you guys through what you need to get and how to do it. So bear with me. We're going to head out. We're going to go get these tanks, show you what we got, take you through the hardware store where we're going to get what we need to reseal it. And then we're going to go through and show you how to do it. Stay with us here. Alright, we are in the aisle here with all this different silicone. And you have to figure out what it is that you're looking for. So when you're doing this, what I definitely recommend, and I use all the time, are this silicone here. And you definitely want it to say silicone 1. Do not. Alright guys, we're back, and we are now at the hardware store. I'm actually on my second trip because I didn't read this ad and have any attention to detail. I had to make a second trip. It had a 75, a 55, and a 20. The 20 is a 20 high, but it does have a crack in the upper right-hand corner, but I don't think it's going to affect anything. I'm going to go through and seal it as well. But my lack of attention to detail, the 75 actually had a stand that came with it too. And didn't fit in the car, so I had to make another trip back. But here we are. We are at the hardware store. We're gonna head on in. That's right. Local hardware store. We'll see what we can get here. I'll go through and show you guys. Come on inside with me. Alright, so the next thing you're gonna need, and you have plenty of options, you want some painter's tape. Doesn't stick and allows you to go through, and you'll understand why. I just get some standard painter's tape, nothing crazy. So go through and get us taken care of. Next thing we're going to need, we need some razor blades, and you're going to want to get you some Acrosol or something along those lines. I have a whole bunch at the house, so I'm not going to get some on here, but I do want some razor blades. I got to find them in here. I don't remember where they're at, but we're going to wander around here until we find them, but I don't know where everything is in here. But pick me up some razor blades here. Alright, back in the car here. I'll show you guys what we got, what we actually spent on our free fish tanks. Yeah, that's right. The free fish tanks are now no longer free. So we ended up getting a bunch of caulk, and we spent right at $90. Now this would have been a little bit cheaper, but my caulk gun actually broke. But it's not bad. I mean, considering you got some free tanks, it's really not that bad a deal. So the silicone, I figure I'm going to need about 3 tubes for each one of the big tanks, if I remember right, and then 1 for the 20. So I had to get 7 of those, and they were, I don't have my old man glasses on, but they were like $9 a piece or something, if I remember right, and some razor blades. So we would have got away for about, I don't know, $70 or so if I hadn't broke my caulk gun on the last go around that I had. But get ready for the next step here. We're going to show you how to start prepping the tanks, getting the tanks ready to go through and be resealed. So this is where the hard work is going to come into place. All right, guys, welcome back. Here we are. Let me show you what we got here. So we got ourselves a 75-gallon tank. The brace is still intact, so that's positive. Got ourselves a 55-gallon tank here. The brace is still intact on it. That's positive. We got ourselves our 20 high. It has got a crack in a corner here, though, but I think we can seal this. We're actually going to go there and put some silicone on it. It's not going to be for pretty. It's going to be for growing. And we got a nice stand for the 75. Now, most of what I have set up is not on stands, but I'm going to put it on the stand for quite a while. as we continue to grow the fish room. But I'm not going to show you all three on what we're doing on how we're resealing. I'm going to pull a 55 and we're going to start resealing it. You're going to get some puppy dogs in the mix here because they're down here in the basement. And in our world right now, it is hot as all get out. But we're going to yank the 55 out. Go through, show you what, well, you already saw us get it off from Lowe's. But we're going to show you the purpose behind each and everything that we're going to do. So you want to get your start on this, if I can find them, and get your razor blades out. And we're going to go through and actually we're going to go through and wipe this down a little bit first because there's some cobwebs and whatnot that's in here. But the old seal that's on this tank, we need to get it out. And we're going to use our handy dandy razor blades to go through and do it. I probably still had some here and probably didn't need to buy them. It's a lot easier if you have a tool like what I have somewhere. I don't even know where oh, I do see it. Be right back. This little handy dandy tool will do you wonders though, because you can go there and scrape with it and not kill yourself. But apparently I didn't buy the right razor blades for it. But we're going to wipe this thing down a little bit, get some of these cobwebs out of our way. Not that they're really going to hurt anything because we're going to have to clean the inside of this tank afterwards. But there are a couple cobwebs and stuff in there. We're going to knock these things out of here. And old daddy long leg in there look like too. Now normally I do this out in the garage. Like I said, it's hot as all get out it here, and I don't want to work in the heat, and I don't have to, so. Yeah, it's like 100 out there. Yeah, it's miserable. We actually we did play a poker game in our garage last night, and it was hot. Hot, hot, hot. That's an understatement. But if you go through and see, what we want to do is your old seal that's in these tanks. It runs all the way up the side, all the way down on the bottom. So all you need to really do is get your razor blade. You're going to get in there. You want to get all of this old seal out. If you're doing this for the first time, I strongly recommend that you do it somewhere like a garage or something that allows for some room for air, especially when you're going through to water test them. I've done this enough that I feel comfortable to do it down here in my basement that I'm not going to mess up and we're not going to end up with any leaks. My wife might disagree with it, but that's okay. So what you're going to want to do, and I'm going to do this one wall right here, and y'all don't want to watch me do all of it, I don't think. Or at least that's what I'm being told. I'll show you how to do it with one wall, and then we'll do it through the whole rest of the tank. But you get your old seal. You go through and you want to cut this whole seal all the way out of here. There's going to be some that's not going to want to come out real good. It's just part of it. It's all right. So there we are. But you got to make sure the most critical step to this whole process is to make sure that you have every single bit of this glass clean. It's got to be perfect. If it's not perfect, it's going to leak and you're going to be discouraged. But so you got the good majority of it. The good majority comes off pretty easy. So you get the good majority of that corner out, and you can actually run your finger along it, and you can go through, and you can see, and you can feel if there's any more of the seal left. Even when you think you got it all, try to check it again, because there's probably still some more. Like I thought I had it all, and there was still some there, still some there, and you can't even feel that with your finger. But that's not going to make a good seal. So you got to get all of this out really, really well. After you get this out and you think you have it all, you want to clean it. I'll show you what I'm going to use to clean it, and I've used it for a long time. This is the one thing y'all didn't see me get from the store because I have a big old jug and it goes a long, long way. Acetone. What it does is it cleans old sticky residue. It's real good for removing tape and things along those lines, the residue off of that. Of course, I'm going to struggle getting this open because I tried to do it on a video. I should have went ahead and got it open. Maybe we're going to get it open. That's not the way to do it, by the way. Whatever, we're going to make that work. What you want to do, just get you a towel, paper towel, whatever. And all you got to do is just get some on that towel. You just need it soaked in. And this stuff was probably way too much, but that's okay. It's not going to hurt anything. And you want to run the corner and just get it all good and clean. At this point, you're going to feel anything that you have left over, any residue that you'd had left over. It's going to go through and get that good and cleaned out. But you should not be able to feel anything anywhere along the lines. So when you're doing this, this is that point that you turn you on some music, a little AC/DC or 50 Cent or maybe some Presley or whatever floats your boat. Turn that on, plug away, work away at this until you have it all perfect. And when you think you have it perfect, check it again because you probably missed something. This is the most critical step to this, and I can't stress it enough, is to get every single bit of this old seal out, because all it takes is one little bit to allow a leak and make for a very, very bad day. But I'm going to plug away. I'm going to get the rest of this seal out. We'll come back here in a few minutes when we got it all out, all right? All right, so next stage complete. If you look, we have our whole seal out of here. And like I said before, and I'm going to stress it again and again and again and again, after you think you have it all, check it again because you missed something somewhere. And after you're 100% sure you got it all, check it again. But one thing I didn't mention, get your little shot vac, little handheld vac or something so you can get all the small pieces out of the aquarium after you get it. We got a whole pile of it sitting over here on the ground. Now the next stage of this, and this is where your pretty comes into place, and this is the part that I am not the best at. So you want to get your painter's tape, and you want to start making lines that are going to outline where your silicone goes. And what I mean by this, and I'll show you, this is the part that I'm not the best at. And this is why I don't do a lot of woodworking and electrical work and things along those lines, because for whatever reason, I can't seem to get this down right. So what you want to do, get your piece of painter's tape, And you want to run you as straight of a line as you can, but you don't want to go all the way to the bottom or all the way at the corner. And this is going to be your line for your silicone. So like this is too big. I already know it is. So this side over here, unless I go through and redo it, if you're after pretty, this is going to be the part that's going to be really important to you. The first couple of these I did, the silicone was very sloppy, but it still worked. This one's not going to be as pretty as what I would like it to be, but it is what it is. I said I'm not. These are more about growing out and raising babies and breeding in than they are going to be for show and tell. So what you want to do is get you another line on this side over here. Try to line it up as straight as you possibly can. And you want to create this same kind of line all the way around the entire tank. Make sure you're leaving room at the bottom and on the sides, because you're going to need to do the same thing on the bottom and on the sides of the tank as well. All right, got that part of it done. This is the part I don't like, because we're going to do it like this. Get yourself there. Man, I'm already sweating. I couldn't imagine doing this outside today. See, I made a boo-boo right there, and we want to fix that. You can't have it. You got to leave your gap, because that is where your silicone is going to go. You got to have your gap. Go all the way down here and do this way as well. This is one that's really tough to line up. Ooh. Make sure she's flush down there on that, all the way around. See, like you'll see here, down on the bottom, where I got this little wave going on. I don't know if you can see it, but there you go. That little wave's not going to be pretty. It'll be under gravel, so it really ain't going to bother me. So I don't care that much. Actually, I got another one down here at this end too. All right, got a nice flush line going on right there. Come up the sides here. line it up this side here. These are your most noticeable lines when you're doing this. The ones on the bottom aren't as important. But however wide you leave this is how wide you're leaving for your silicone bead. And on a bigger tank like this, you want a pretty good bead. I'll do the side first. All right, we're almost there. Couple more left to go. If you guys have any questions or anything, you're more than welcome to ask. I'll do my best to try to help. Said I've done this plenty of times. The largest tank I've done to date is a 120. Interesting story. We were sitting in our living room, and my wife, and I had a 120-gallon tank, saltwater tank, full of some gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous fish. And I don't do a lot of saltwater tanks. And the last two I've had actually sprung leaks on us, which was really weird. I have no rhyme or reason to it. But we were sitting in the living room. We're sitting there watching the show. My wife, she says, "You hear water running?" No, I don't hear any water running. So we're sitting there. And it's probably another 10, 15 minutes later. It's like, I do hear water running. And I look over this 120-gallon tank, and I notice it's about, a third of the way down, water level-wise. So the instant panic sets in. And sure enough, that tank was leaking. I panicked, started getting all the fish out, started getting the rest of the water out. By this time, the carpet is soaked. Our floor is absolutely soaked. I phoned a friend. He thankfully is a good friend, and he came and helped me get the tank out of the house. And I ended up resealing that tank, and I did not go back with salt water, by the way. But I lost some of those fish. The other ones went back to the pet store. That is the last saltwater tank I've had. The other one I had, I've got a 60-gallon hexagon tank that I got from my dad. And it was a saltwater tank. Nice, pretty setup. And it started leaking. Not quite that same scenario. I'm at work and get a text message from my amazing wife. She said, "I think this tank is leaking." Well, she was right. Sure enough, it had a little pinhole leak on the side of it that every time you touched it, it would physically spray out. Pretty wild, actually. But I ended up reselling that tank too. It is actually in my bedroom, growing out some gorgeous peacock cichlids right now. But that tank, I'd never resealed a hexagon. The same setup, same deal. Get to your corners, get them all lined up, make them look pretty. Yeah, as pretty as you can. That one looks better than most of them. If you've seen our tour that we've done, I think we did two. It's in both of them, but that tank I'm pretty partial to because my dad actually gave it to me. And he had a couple blood parrots that he had in there for a long, long, long time. So, whew, I'm sweating. That wasn't even hard work. So if you see here, you got your perfect silicone lines lined up all the way through this entire tank. The next part of this needs to be almost seamless. Get your silicone. Well, maybe we will. You start wherever you want to start. All right, so you get her coming out, and you want to make you one real solid run on this. Now there is a little bit of room for error in this, but not a whole lot. In this particular situation, more is better. The more you have, the bigger your bead's going to look, and then not as pretty, but the less likelihood that it's going to leak on you. But this stuff starts drying pretty quick. So you got about, I don't know, 10 or 15 minutes figuring it out. But once you start this, you got to get this entire tank done. Oh, Booker's over there. He's chiming into the video too, apparently. But you want to get you a pretty thick bead laid. Like I said, the more you use, the thicker it is, the better off you are usually. You don't want to go crazy with it. Stuff's pretty potent. So, probably ought to be in a well-ventilated area, which I'm not. I always put a whole bunch extra in the corners. And maybe it's just me because I'm weird like that. When you're getting the old seal out of here, the corners are the toughest. But I usually load them up pretty good. And I think 3 for this 55 is probably going to be too much. I couldn't remember. I hadn't done a Reseal to 55 in about 6 or 7 months. I couldn't remember how much I used last time. So, but if you don't have enough, you don't have time to run to the hardware store at this point. Because this is going to start setting up. And you cannot have any breaks in it. We're out of juice, so this one here. That one's completely empty. Snip the next one. strongly recommend, if you don't use the entire tube in a setting, throw it away. Because coming to find out, you're going to try to make it work on the next one. You're going to break it. You're going to have to buy another one. That's why I had to buy one this time. So what you want to do here in this set here, so I use just my finger. And your bead, where it's not super duper pretty, I take my finger and I lightly apply pressure and just run that all the way through there. And I lightly apply pressure all the way on all the beads, all the way through the whole tank. It allows it to smooth out. And then you get to feel for any kind of errors that you made. Like if you're too light in some areas, you have the ability to go back and fix some of that. And you can actually feel it with your finger. When you go do this, you'll understand. So you'll be like, oh, I do get it. This stuff is really strong. So like I said, you probably need to be in a well-ventilated area. I, however, am not. Because I don't listen to my own advice sometimes. Yeah. All right. Now you got it all lined up, ready to rock and roll. Then you get your painter's tape off. So you get your painter's tape out of here. You just start peeling it out of there. Because if you leave it in there, it's going to be glued into the tank. And you don't want that. Definitely butchered that area right there. So like when you're doing this part here, you're going to notice there's going to be some areas that are going to come up a little bit weird. You're not going to like it. This is your last opportunity to fix this. Sorry, this stuff's bothering me a little bit. All right. Like I said, if you guys got any questions, or you're wanting to do it yourself, please feel free to ask. I'll do what I can to help within reason. The corner over there, that's definitely not sealed as well as what I want it to be. I'm going to go over there and fix this real quick. I'll just retouch these corners anywhere, regardless. This is your last opportunity to make a mistake. If you don't fix it now, you don't get another opportunity. You got to redo the entire process, because this stuff is going to start drying really, really quick. But it's a done deal. Now, all you have to do is sit and wait. I recommend 2 days. Let it sit for about 2 days, and then you'll be able to fill her up. If it's your first time doing it, fill it up outside. Fill it up in a garage, just in case. Me, I'm going to do it down here and hopefully not be overconfident. But you guys have any questions, anything, we'll put up a short list here at the video. I think we can do that. Is that right? Of all the stuff that you need here. That way you can stop and take a screenshot of it and go through and walk in Lowe's with a screenshot and saying, hey, this is what I need. But we appreciate you guys. Thanks again for watching Sanders Aquatics. Like and subscribe.